It's empty. I hate when that. I got my mint Milanos. These are good, you guys. These are the best, and I got them with raspberry and chocolate. I don't know if you can see that there. Let me bring it over here. Let's see here. Raspberry and chocolate. Let's see. Does it say that? See that little layer of raspberry in there? When I was a kid, my dad used to take me to the mall. Now, for those of you who are young, a mall was a big, big building with lots of stores. And you would walk through the mall instead of typing on Amazon. First, I was a little taken back by this, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not a big deal. I guess I'm more of a little disappointed, but really, I can't. There it is. A little disappointed, but it is what it is, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna call this out. But let me say, it has not and is not affecting the network. It's not wrong or morally bad. I guess I'm just kind of disappointed, but at the same time, companies are in business to make money. And they're going to use the system any way they can to make the money. And that's just the way life is. And having said that, if they were actually trying to damage the network, they could, because they're holding back to not do that. But I do want to call this out. Nobody else has mentioned it, and I do want to let you know that it's out there and what is happening. Though I'm not worried about it in any fashion, or I'm not concerned. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. It's just a little tidbit of information so that you can keep it under your hat and available to you, so you know what's going on. You take a look at mining pool stats, and you'll see, Pooling's been allowing everybody to join in. They've had a pretty level field of hash rate, and it seems to always be in that 1.2 to 1.5 gigahash. I've seen it a little bit higher than that. But if you go to F2 Pool, you'll notice F2 Pool is running 1.9 gigahash at the moment. And they have the ability to run 4 gigahash. I've seen them do it. Alright? So if they were looking to be damaging anything, they could do that with the 4 gigahash using this methodology. Now let me explain what I'm talking about. Before we went to ASICs, we were running GPUs. And what was happening is that people were going into nice hash, and they were cyclically mining up and down, so that they would mine a whole bunch of coins before the difficulty caught up to them, and then as soon as it did, they would drop off. The problem lies is that they were adding so much hash power that it was offsetting the block timing, and the average of the block time went up, so our transactions were slowing down and what have you. All right, F2 Pool has the capacity to do that, but they're not. So they're not trying to damage the environment. They're playing. They're monetizing their equipment in a way to not damage the environment, but at the same time to maximize their profitability. So if you take a look at F2 Pool, you'll see they're running in this cyclical manner. They're turning on whatever they're running, whether they're FPGAs or they're ASICs. I would assume they're ASICs, and they're bringing them up so that they can score as many coins as possible before the difficulty catches up, and then they're dropping it and then waiting for everybody to bring the difficulty back. It's not changing the difficulty too bad at all, and the good news is, let's say if we go to let's go to Nanopool. Let's take a look at Nanopool here. We can go to, let's see if we can lower this down, and let's look at the stats at Nanopool. So Nanopool is a good resource to look at. Let's move this over a little bit so that we can see this a little better, and do a little housekeeping here. I just want you guys to understand there's no problem here, but I do want you to understand what's happening. So we take a look here. You will now see the effect that F2 Pool is creating. You can see the block timing going up and down based on when they're throwing off and on their equipment. All right, and they're causing these spikes. And this black line is the average block time. So if you take a look, normally it's 122 seconds. It's supposed to be 120 seconds. All right, and you can see when they do this, it can bring it upwards of, 200 seconds, but then it'll drop back down. So here's the good news, is that they're causing this block time to go up by an extra 30 seconds. No big deal. When we were running with GPUs, when this was happening, it was throwing our block time off up to 10 minutes. And that was a significant problem. But as they're doing this here, you'll see it'll drop down to 120 and it'll go up to 145. So they're only altering it by about 20 seconds. The F2 Pool has been sensitive to make sure that they don't damage the environment that they're trying to excavate from. So by applying enough hashing power to do what they need, but at the same time not to damage the working times and working speeds. So this isn't too bad, but it is an effect, and you can see it out there. They're causing, because normally we would have a reasonably calm environment. With this hashing power being dropped off and on, it's obviously causing this vibration in the environment. And the reason why, let me explain why they're doing this. It allows them, if you have to pay for electricity for your equipment, okay, for a particular period of time, and you're spending, I don't know, $5,000 a month to run your Electroneum equipment at the value that they're running, their quantity of equipment that they're running. So if I just kicked on all those ASICs and let them flatline, yeah, the hash power would go up dramatically and the system would run and they would be earning their, half the coins that are produced so that they can sell them or squirrel them away, whatever they're doing. All right. By using this methodology, and this is just the nature of blockchain and how blockchain works, by using this methodology, they can bang up, double the hash power real quick, and scoop up significant amounts of coins as they're going along. A multiplier, it might be 1.5 times. And then when the difficulty catches up or the timing catches up, you shut off your equipment. And that's what you see here. So you figure if they're leaving it on about 2/3 of the time and shutting off 1/3, they're able to shut off that equipment and save that electric for that period of time. So if you can now change your $5,000 down to $3,500, it's a savings, and you're making basically the same amount of coins as if you left the machines running at all times. So they can save 1/3 of the electricity and still have the same amount of coins as if they left the machines running. And they can only do this because they have so many machines that actually double the amount of hash power that's out there when they kick them on. You take a look, you'll see, you got 1.2, 1.3, you got 0.3, 0.2. So, and you add it all up, they're making sure that they're balancing everybody else against them. So they're basically just doubling the power that's out there. And like I said, I've seen them bring up 4 gigahash, 3.9 gigahash. I've seen them bring up a lot of muscle when they needed it. So if they were to do that, then that would significantly alter the functionality of the blockchain. But they're not. So they're being a reasonably good partner, but doing what they need to do to be as effective and economically supportive to what they need to produce. So I just wanted to bring that out to you. And if you take a look at F2 Pool, Electroneum is not the only one that they do this to. You'll take a look and you'll see Pascal Coin. See what they're doing here? Oscillating off and on the machines so that they can maximize. This seems to be a general practice of being able to maximize the coins that they can produce. Here, they're doing the same thing with Ravencoin. Ravencoin, one of the coins I happen to mine. I've been mining that for almost a year. I think it's been about a year. Ravencoin, they're doing the same thing. They're throwing it up and down, waiting for the difficulty to go up and down, maximizing their coins. This is a SOP, standard operating procedure for them. You'll see Bitcoin Cash. Don't ask me why they're mining Bitcoin Cash, but they are. They're doing a similar thing, but they're timing it because others are also involved. They're timing it, and so you'll see that their timing is changing. I think they may have somebody that actually just watches and does this, but this seems to be standard procedure for them to produce and be more effective in their and maximizing their electricity against what they can earn. And Electroneum is so standard, so works like a clockwork that it's almost like a tick, just like Pascal Coin. It's almost a tick, a timing tick as it goes along. So that's a sign it's good. So F2 Pool is not trying to damage, not trying to hurt anybody. They're just trying to maximize their profitability. And as a business, that's what you do. You know, you try to earn the most that you can to keep yourself in business. So I just wanted to bring this to you. I doubt anybody else has, and explain what you're seeing and understanding what's going on in the mining for Electroneum. So don't fear, don't worry, but know what's going on. Understand not only the coin and the value that the coin brings, but the mechanics behind it and what's keeping it alive and how it's functioning. And it's good to have all that knowledge.